I want to welcome everyone to this month's employer panel. This is the NETPA virtual meeting. We took these meetings virtual a few months back. And what we're doing now is we are meeting with local employers, community employers, and we're giving them an opportunity to talk about the open positions they have, what it's like to work there, and some things that might make them different so that job seekers can make a decision. Is that someone I want to apply with? Is that someone I want to work for? We got a couple of great employers here that we're going to introduce shortly. But before we get into that, I want to introduce myself. I'm Ryan England, the president of NETPA. I own a company called Core Matters. And what we do is we focus on helping employers hire better people faster. Now, one of the things that I want to announce today that is new, we are getting ready to roll this out. But over the last couple of months, as a board, we have started talking about the direction we want to see NETPA go, the role it's going to play in the community, and who we're really going to support and who we're going to target in connecting job seekers with employers. We're going to be announcing this a little bit more formally here in the next couple of months. We're going to be updating our website and putting a campaign together. But I wanted to share it with you guys today. So, at NETPA, we have three primary core values. The first one is connecting the underserved to the right employers. We refuse to overlook qualified individuals who live with disabilities, are seeking re-entry into the workforce, or have English as a second language. We also believe in growing our community. So we're really focused on the local community here, the local community employers. Even though many of them are very large organizations, they have a very big presence here in the Valley for us. And so we want to be able to spotlight them, share with them job seekers. And it's all about the Phoenix metro area for us. And even though we are in Arizona, we really are focused on our local community. We really want to help them attract job seekers who may have some barriers to gainful employment by giving them an opportunity to meet with them one-on-one or even in environments like this. And then our third value is doing what's unconventional. We really want to be different in the marketplace. We really want to be able to make a name for ourselves, a name for our employer members, and also our community partners. We want to mix things up a little bit because often the old way of finding a job or finding gainful employment is changed and things are much more difficult. And so we have to change with those times as well. Our purpose is to work with our community partners who recognize job seekers with barriers and challenges and connect them to long-term gainful employment through our local community employers. And we actually have a big vision. We really want to be able to be a force for change in the Valley. And so over the next 3 years, we want to actually connect with 50 companies that belong to the organization. They're engaged with the organization. They receive guidance, support, and direction as we help them hire qualified individuals facing these barriers to employment. And we actually have a few of those community employers with us today. So we have Megan Kennedy with Community Medical Services. We have Alexis Trevino with U-Haul International and Catherine Olenek, did I do that right? With Rauch North America. I apologize. So what I want to do now is I want to dig in and start asking some questions of the employers, so that we can get a little bit more information from you. For everybody that's attending, by the way, we will be posting a recording of this up on our YouTube channel. We'll be sharing it through our NETPA website. So if there's anybody that wasn't able to get in, please share that with them so they can learn more about these amazing employers. So for the first question, what I would love to do, and I'll call on each of you, I would love for you to just introduce yourself. Give us your pitch about the company, why someone would want to apply there, and then let us know what are a couple of positions that you are very excited to fill or maybe even struggling to fill that you would love to share with our community, and let our attendees know how they can apply. So Megan, I'd love to start with you.
Thanks, Ryan. Can everyone hear me okay?
You can.
Great. So my name is Megan, and I work with an amazing company called Community Medical Services. We are headquartered here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and have about 23 clinics in the greater Arizona area. We are a company that specifically helps individuals that are suffering from substance use disorders. So we are making an impact in the lives of individuals and communities on a daily basis. It is a very rewarding industry to work in. We recently just opened a new 24/7 intake center yesterday off I-17 in Cactus. So we are really hiring for a variety of positions right now, everything from front desk to counselors to case managers. To apply for any positions with our company, our website is just our company name, communitymedicalservices.org. On the right-hand side under About, you'll be able to see all of our career opportunities. They are sorted by location, but of course, I will put my email in the chat as well. If you do have any questions or maybe that there isn't an opportunity for you today, we are luckily an employer that is continuing to grow during this time. We just opened 12 more clinics this year alone. So even if there's not a position that you're interested in today, there could be one in the future as well.
Thank you, Megan. And I don't know if anybody else, but I had some struggles hearing you. It was a little in and out. So if for future questions, just be aware of that. But if you wouldn't mind, in the chat, put the listing of the website, your email address, and everything else that you had just mentioned so that everybody that's attending can get that information. Alexis.
Hello, hi, how is everybody doing? I hope well. I am here representing U-Haul, of course. As we all know, U-Haul is a moving and storage company. Right now, we're really focused on hiring for our contact center positions. We are actually hiring both bilingual and English speakers for our contact center position. And U-Haul has been hiring from home since before COVID. These are all work from home positions. The preliminary steps would be to verify that your computer specs match and of course can, sustain the systems that we're going to require that you have to work from home. But besides that, our interview process is pretty fast. We don't have any classroom style trainings or anything like that. You would be working one-on-one with your trainer, so we'd be able to start you shortly after you get hired. Like I mentioned, these are all work from home positions. We're hiring for customer service, we're hiring for center support, and we're hiring bilingual, like I said, for both of those. So the regular English contact center positions right now are starting at $13 an hour. Our bilingual opportunity is starting at $15 an hour. These are all permanent part-time roles, so they do come with some benefits. And yeah, we're ready to roll. Right now, we're offering a little bit more than what would be your typical part-time schedule. So if you're looking for a little bit more hours now that, COVID is happening, you have more time on your hands, whatever the case is, this is definitely the time to jump in, get more hours now, and then change that availability for this part-time schedule when you get your full-time or whatever happens in the future. So yeah, I'll make sure to link both of those positions down in the chat. I'll make sure to distinguish which is for English and which is for bilingual, and we can get you guys going. The best way to get your application noticed here is going to be to make sure you fill it out completely. Fill out your work history, attach your resume as well. Make sure that you're paying attention to all of those details, because that's what we're looking for here for our work from home positions.
That's great. And Alexis, we actually have one of our attendees has a question for you.
Yeah, awesome.
Would like to know if you hire people with background issues.
So no, the thing with the backgrounds would be, I think it's no issues within the last 5 years is our criteria. So anything that's happened longer than 5 years, we don't ask about. Anything within 5 years, we'll go ahead and look into.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
All right, Catherine.
Hey everyone, I do go by Katie, although my name is Catherine. Olenek, I'm the HR manager at Rauch North America. Rauch is very well known in Europe. It is a major fruit juice producer in the European market, but they also do co-packing for other companies. This is the first plant that Rauch has in the United States, and it's here in Waddell, but reality is it's in Surprise. You walk across the street and it's in Surprise, Arizona. But we are not making fruit juices. We are co-packing Red Bull. Rauch is the leading producer of Red Bull. We produce about 98% of the Red Bull around the world. Last year, it was about 7 billion cans. We did that in 2 factories, one in Switzerland and one in Austria. So we're really excited to open up a plant here in the United States to serve the United States market, which of course is the #1 market for Red Bull products. This is a startup operation. The building should be finished construction in about 3 weeks. They're currently installing the beverage filling lines right now. So with that, we need people that are a little flexible and adaptable and understand that as a startup opportunity, this is like the ground floor. So there will be some growing pains along the way as we integrate this established company into the US and the US culture. Currently, we are looking for, all of our positions are full-time. We are looking for machine operators to obviously run the machines. They are high-speed capacity machines. They do about 140,000 cans a minute. So we need people that are able to monitor those, do quick troubleshooting. If it's anything serious, we do have maintenance techs and electrical techs that will come and fix those problems. We need tray packers for these lines, palletizers, depalletizers. So those are the type of things our machine operators are going to be doing. The starting pay for those positions is $19 an hour. 19 to 21 is our range. We're also looking for forklift operators, which pretty much we're just moving the Red Bull product from one side to the other, offloading ingredients as they come in and getting the Red Bull products out. Those positions start from $18 to $20 an hour, depending on experience. We do have a couple positions left in our maintenance tech department. We are looking for night shift for those. Our schedules are, we are a 24/7 operation, so they are 12-hour shifts from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., but it's a 4 on 3 off, 3 on 4 off model. For the forklift drivers and the machine operators, it does switch every 28 days from night shift to day shift. So that is kind of what we're looking for. Currently, all of our jobs are on Indeed as we get the European website kind of an application process tweaked for the United States requirements. So you can find us on Indeed under Rauch, and I will also link that in the chat for you.
Thank you. So I have a question for you, and then there is also a question from one of our attendees. Remind us, where is this operation at? Like what part of the valley?
So it's in Waddell. It's in the West Valley. Okay. But if Waddell people don't necessarily know, but it is basically Surprise. Literally, if you cross the street, it's on Peoria and Reams. So if you cross the street of Peoria, you're in Surprise, Arizona.
Okay. All right, great. And then a question about the forklift operators. Is a license required to apply for the position?
A license is not required. We do appreciate experience, but we do have licensing on site.
Okay, great. And I have a question here that I think came out for Alexis, but I'm going to ask it to everybody. So if you wouldn't mind, if someone has applied with your organization in the past and they haven't heard back, which is something we often hear from job seekers, what's something they could do to follow up with their application? So Katie, I'll let you answer that, and then Megan and Alexis.
So for me, I appreciate when people just reach out. I wouldn't reach out the day after you submit your application. I would wait at least 7 days and then reach out via email. I don't know about everybody else, but email is usually the best way to contact me because of what's going on in the world. We're always on video conferences. We're always meeting with people, virtually. So for me, emailing about a week later is a good way to go.
All right, thank you. How about you, Megan? What's one way they can follow up?
Hi, Ryan. I agree that I do think email is the best way to follow up. So often we are blocked off and we're either in virtual career fairs or on the phone, that I think email is the fastest way that we are able to get back to someone. So I would prefer email as well after a few business days.
Okay. And how about you, Alexis?
I would agree with both of the previous ladies. I think email is definitely the best way to go. Now, here at U-Haul, we do have a pretty big recruiting team, so you can always call. Now, one thing I would say is, like Catherine said initially, wait those 7 days, give us just a little bit of time. and then, yeah, you can go ahead and give us a call. We can pull up your application and see where you're at in the process and give you about an estimate about, of time on how long you should be expecting to wait to hear from somebody. But I would say on average, we take maybe 1 or 2 weeks to reach out to anybody. Right now is super busy, being that everybody's obviously trying to work from home. So I would say maybe give us a few extra days, but we are getting through these applications. Give us a call. We'll be happy to at least let you know where you're at in the process.
All right. And if you haven't done it yet, to the panelists, make sure you get your email and phone number if you want that in the chat. Make sure you include all the attendees in that so they can get your contact information. So I like to talk a little bit more about the things that we won't see in a job description. Learn a little bit more about the company, what it's like to work there. So Katie, I'm going to start with you. Can you tell me a little bit about what it's like to work for the company? Maybe even go into a little bit of day in the life of some of these positions you've talked about.
Okay, so a day in the life at Rauch right now is organized chaos, I would say. As we're getting everything together, right? Ingredients are coming in, we're signing off on the construction, taking ownership of things, getting lines put in, getting people trained. But once everything is up and running and going as scheduled, you come to work, you clock in, you do your job for 12 hours, you go home. Right? That's pretty much it. Now on the site, there are obviously safety precautions we have to have because of not just our machinery and what we do, but also COVID. So currently, our policy is that everyone must wear masks. They must wear the N95 mask, not just surgical masks or cloth masks. They are provided to you. And you have to wear those. You also need to social distance at the full extent possible. Sometimes we have to be within 6 feet of each other for, say, if a machine is, malfunctioning, people might have to be closer, but we do have to wear those masks. We also get COVID tested every 2 weeks, bi-weekly. Everyone gets tested. The company brings someone on site, does that. We get our results in about 24 hours. If someone is tested positive, they immediately have to go home, quarantine for 14 days, and they have to present a negative test before they're able to come back to work. We also, anyone that they have been around, we send them home as well, and they need to get a second test that shows that they're negative before they can come back to work. We are a young team. We're building from the ground up. Everyone's really excited, and like I said, since it's a startup and we're integrating cultures, we really have an opportunity to build our own culture here. So that's kind of the day in life right now.
Got it. So when you said startup, you really meant it. Even
Yes.
though you got history overseas, here it really is brand new.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Great. Alexis, how about you?
Okay. Hi, everybody. So as we know, U-Haul has been around for a long time. I think, we're very organized in our process. It's awesome that this isn't the first time that we're hiring from home. A lot of our managers, are already used to training people who might be new to working from home and stuff like that. So all in all, we are very family oriented. I think right now, the big goal of the company is to make sure that the employees are taken care of. I work here in Phoenix, obviously where our corporate office is based, but we do hire all across the US, pretty much every single state. And so we have a very organized process. And of course, we have those partial benefits for our part-time employees even. And then on top of that, I would say just overall, we offer that stability and security. You know, U-Haul's obviously not a been here today, gone tomorrow type of company. Um, our managers know what they're doing. Our company is growing to benefit the employees more. And an example of that would be this multi-million-dollar gym and conference center that we're getting created here on our downtown campus. So I think there's going to be like walk-in clinics. There's going to be like gym classes for every U-Haul employee, regardless of where you work. Of course, if you're here in Arizona, which I assume everybody here is, you would be able to take advantage of that stuff. So I would say like that's the direction that U-Haul is really going into now, focusing more on the employee and making sure that our employees do have a good work-life balance. Right now, we're looking for daytime hours, but we ask for you to commit to that for the first 90 days because of the way things are going. But after that, we do offer that flexibility, and we offer the ability to work around whatever life you already have going on outside of U-Haul. So I think that's our biggest thing here. We want to make sure that you have a good work-life balance.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Megan, tell us about community medical services.
Yeah, so at Community Medical Services, you know, there's no such thing as a typical day in behavioral health. But I think that across the board, everyone can expect to be making a difference on a daily basis, whether that's multitasking, prioritizing, and just helping out. That is the overall goal, is to make sure that our patients are receiving the best care possible. In terms of the culture that we have, we are very solutions oriented. We're very passionate, very creative, overcoming obstacles, but also very communicative. What I really like about my company is that every Friday we have an all hands meeting. So even though we have a little bit over 650 employees, our executive team still takes the time to speak with all of the employees, see what's going on, address any questions or concerns that we might be feeling that came up during the week, or maybe address any issues that are related to COVID. You know, has our response been enough? We personally have been paying a shift differential to all employees since March. So we are continuing to roll out more and more incentives to make sure that our employees feel appreciated and protected. But I really like that even though it is becoming a bigger and bigger company, we still have direct interface with the executive team, which is really nice to have.
Thank you for that. All right. So any attendees out there, if you have any questions for any of our panelists, please make sure to put them in the Q&A so we can get those questions addressed, even if it's around specific positions or something else you'd like to know about the company. So the next thing I'd like to know a little bit more about the culture of the company. We talked a little bit about the work and what's expected and some of the things that you guys are doing with the current environment. Talk to us a little bit about your company's values, as well as how would someone know that they were a good candidate for your company? Not necessarily just the position, but they would actually be a good fit. They would feel like they belong there, and it would be something where they're looking for long-term employment with you. So Alexis, I'd like you to go first.
Sure. So I'm sorry. I think I kind of mixed my questions up here a little bit, but we're looking for somebody that has customer service. Obviously, these are all customer service oriented positions. These are all going to be more on the entry level side. On top of that, we're looking for somebody that obviously feels comfortable on the computer for this specific role. And just to go back to that previous question real quick, that's exactly what we're doing, is just providing exceptional customer service. Just doing what U-Haul's known to do best, right? Being there when people need us. We are a needs-based company, and that is really the direction that we want and the motivation that we want all of our agents to have. So we're looking for empathy is the biggest thing here, and I think that that really plays on to what we stand for as a company and the service that we're providing and how we're providing it. So that's what we're doing here. I think I answered a little bit about what we're doing for the employees in the last role, but I would say that's what we're doing overall in these specific positions, and that's the goal.
So if someone puts customer service really high, they would be a good fit for U-Haul. What are some other things that U-Haul values as far as an organization culturally? Like, what are the things that show up there?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, this is an ever-changing environment, right? In the world, I mean, U-Haul is the number one moving and storage company in the United States. So we are constantly changing. We are constantly evolving, and I think that's the biggest thing to have is be open to change and receptive to new ideas. And I think that's the biggest thing here with U-Haul. We're always changing, and we're looking for people that can, change along with us and have a good attitude and kind of keep the ball rolling in that direction. So I would think as a company, just for our customers, for our future as a company, our vision, it's about change and evolving for our customers.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, I know it's startup world and you're creating your own culture and you're figuring it all out, but talk to us a little bit about, some of the things that you guys already value. I've already heard a few things, but I want to hear you say it again. But also, how would someone know they're a good candidate? I heard 12-hour shifts, so that's important. But what are some other things that would help job seekers go, yeah, that's a place I want to work?
Right. So definitely the 12-hour shifts, you need to be able to work shift work. And for a machine operator and forklift operator, you do have to have the flexibility to switch from day shifts to night shifts every 28 days. So to be a good fit for that, you have to be able to obviously work 12-hour shifts and be okay with your life getting turned upside down every 28 days. We really do value teamwork. Everything here is a team effort to produce, our customer's product. So if you work well in a team, that is a big plus. If you are more of a working all by yourself type of person, you don't like group projects, it's probably not the best job for you. We also really value problem solving. Again, while we do have our maintenance techs and our electrical techs, when those lines stop working, it's costing money, right? It could possibly make us lose or miss our production schedule. So if it's something really small, we need people to be able to problem solve that and get that fixed, because it's better to have it fixed in 2 minutes than have to wait 12 minutes for the maintenance tech or electrical tech to arrive, and then they fix it in 2 minutes. Again, it's like 140,000 cans a minute. So we have to be able to problem solve as well. Of course, there's training on how to do the simple problem solving. It's not like you just have to come up with it on your own. But being able to retain that information and then apply it in a kind of a high stress environment when something goes down is really important. Also, Rauch is a family-owned company and has been since 1919. It's in its 4th generation of family ownership. And so family culture is really important. You're spending 12 hours a day with us. You're part of our family, and we want to make sure that you are taken care of. And so everything that I have seen, I started in January. I've never woken up one day and said, what did I do? Everyone is really giving and understanding of things that are going on. Obviously, the job has to get done, but the communication is really well with our employees and what the expectations are and what they can do to be better. So you also have to be able to take that feedback and understand that a lot of our key positions are currently filled by Austrians. So sometimes their manner of speech may be off-putting to some Americans, but understand they're not doing that just to be grumpy people. It's just the way they talk.
Fair enough. Megan, tell us a little bit about the company's values and how someone would know if they're a good fit.
Yeah, so in terms of our company's values, we are looking for individuals that thrive in making a positive difference in this world. So we are a bunch of idealists that are looking to make sure that we are putting the world in a better place than we found it. So if you've always found yourself being a caring and compassionate person that is looking for a company that values that at their cornerstone, absolutely apply for community medical services. In addition, we really are looking for people that can take charge and implement those positive changes. We are also a very teamwork oriented environment. But also, early risers are important. If you are a morning person, this is the job for you. A lot of our clinics do open at 4:30 in the morning. So a lot of our shifts can start that early. So that's something very critical as well, that individuals do know that come 4:30 in the morning, there will be patients that are ready to see you. So someone that is a morning person would also be an ideal fit. And then in addition to that, if individuals were bilingual, that's something that would also pique our interest, just because we're always trying to make sure we're able to communicate with as many individuals as possible. So that's something that would definitely be a plus.
Fantastic. So we've heard a lot already about the open positions and the pay that's associated with it. I'm sure there are questions around benefits and some other things there, especially health insurance. So if you wouldn't mind speaking to your benefits a little bit for these positions that we're talking about. But beyond that, what are some other perks of being a part of your organization? Katie, I'm going to start with you. And I know you said one of the perks with Rauch is that every month you get a new schedule and you get to hang out during the day instead of at night and some other things like that. So if that's something you like, I mean, that's definitely a perk for people.
Yeah.
What are some other perks and some benefits that you guys offer?
Okay, so I will say, again, startup, right now we only have 24 people on payroll. And we are ramping up to have 80 people on payroll by the end of this year. So with just the 24, we actually don't have enough people for a small group insurance plan, and the rates we get are not competitive. So what we're doing in lieu of that is people bring their own insurance, either if it's COBRA from a previous employer, or if it's from Health Exchange or Blue Cross Blue Shield, whatever you have. And we reimburse 80% for a single plan and 75% for a family plan. So we reimburse those amounts to you so you can have medical insurance day one, and we still help you pay for that. We are expecting and targeting to have our small group insurance plan in place no later than March of 2021. So this is just a short-term solution to make sure that people are covered until we can get the competitive rates to make it more affordable. We also do have a 401k plan. The 401k, there is a 90-day waiting period, but there is up to 4% match on that plan. The vesting time is 3 years, so you do have to work for Rauch for 3 years before you can take the company match with you if you go. Other perks, free Red Bull, right? Lots of free Red Bull. And we are definitely pinning down some other policy measures regarding time off. Vacation leave, everyone's going to get at least 40 hours, but some sick leave benefits for our veterans, our disabled veterans that are service connected. We are looking at giving up to 3 days a year paid, so our service connected vets can go to the VA to have the appointments that they need done. So that was really important to me as a veteran, was to take care of our vets. So I'm really excited about that. So those are just kind of the benefits we have right now.
That's great. Alexis, talk to us about U-Haul and some of the benefits and perks of working there.
For sure. So as I mentioned earlier, I think the biggest perk of working here at U-Haul is the flexibility that we have. Honestly, our call centers are open 365 days a year, 24/7, right? So we do have that need for around the clock schedules. Like I mentioned, right now we are looking for daytime hours between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. But outside of the 90 days, we will be super flexible if you have school coming up, if you're, like I mentioned, get a full time and things change. I would say that's one of the biggest things, and that's one of the things that our candidates appreciate the most when they're applying to us. Now, as far as the partial benefits goes, just keep in mind, this is a permanent part-time position. So we're not going to have any full, medical plans or anything like that. We do offer a medical reimbursement indemnity plan, and that basically helps you out with any medical bills that you may incur in the time that you are a part-time employee here at U-Haul, as well as a medication savings plan and dental, vision, and a 401k is what we provide for our part-time employees. On top of that, like I mentioned, we're working towards just, I think, a better quality of life for our employees as well. Our CEO, Joe, he focuses a lot on individual employees' health. And I think that's a big reason why we're getting this conference and fitness center here in the Valley, to motivate people and to get people on the right track as far as that goes. We have Health Week and all kinds of things. So like I mentioned before, I think the biggest thing here is that work-life balance, and having that is the biggest perk.
Fantastic. And Alexis, we have one of our attendees put in something in the Q&A that the link you shared is no longer valid.
Oh, okay.
Is there a new position open for English speakers soon, or will there be?
Oh, let me double check that link because it should be working, but let me just make sure. I'll make sure to get a good one on there for you guys.
Okay. All right, Megan, you're up. And just so you know, there's been a request to have you repost your contact information. It looks like it only went to panelists. So if you could make sure the attendees get it as well, that would be awesome.
Thanks, Ryan. I will make sure that that is in the attendees box as well.
Awesome.
So with Community Medical Services, you will be eligible to enroll in benefits 30 days after the first date of hire. We do have medical, dental, vision, as well as a 401k. We match up to 4% after you've been with the company for 6 months, but it is immediately vested. There is no waiting period. And then something unique about us is we do have tons of perks for employees that stay with the company long term. One of them is vacation. So every year you're with the company, you will be eligible to take an additional week of just vacation time. That does max out on your 5th year, but that's still a pretty fun perk to have, up to 5 weeks of straight vacation time. And then we do have in-house IT, which is also very nice. I'm not sure if any of you have ever been in a position where you didn't have in-house IT, but it's definitely a great resource to have. And then, we're a casual, fun atmosphere. We take our services seriously, but not ourselves.
That's great. Okay. So a couple of you have already spoken to this, and I just want to go over it again with the attendees. Obviously, COVID-19 is something that has impacted everybody, not just here in Arizona, but everywhere in the world. And I know that there are often job seekers that are a little concerned if the company is not public about what they're doing to protect their employees. Katie, I know you'd already spoke to this a little bit. If there's anything you'd like to add, I'd like you to do that. But if you could just talk about what the company is doing to support new employees around COVID-19 exposure. I know we've got some work from home positions. What are some other things that you guys are taking on? And Katie, I'll start with you.
Well, I will say when this started, there are some positions like mine, HR, there are some administrative positions that have been working from home just to reduce exposure rates. Again, there are some that have to be on, but we have had a few people, they have not tested positive, but people in their family have tested positive. So obviously they had to stay home until their family members tested negative, and they did as well. They were paid the entire time, way beyond what the CARES Act did. We just paid them the entire time because it's the right thing to do. So as far as supporting, again, we get tested every 2 weeks at no cost to the employee. That helps. It's peace of mind for you, and it also helps us keep our workplace safe because we can quickly then contact trace and start isolating departments to send them home. This is something that is not just in the US. They started this policy in Austria, as this is a worldwide pandemic. And so we all have to follow the same rules. So even though we have a lot of visitors from Austria, they have to take COVID tests within 72 hours of flying into the United States. They have to take a COVID test upon landing in the United States, and they have to take one in the middle of their trip while they're in the United States. So they have to get tested quite a bit just to come visit. And while that is not anything the law requires, it's what the company does to make sure that we're not moving COVID from one country to another.
Fair enough. Megan, how about community medical services?
Yeah, absolutely. So with community medical services, we actually operate in 8 other states in addition to Arizona. So if anything, we've considered, what all the states are doing to make sure that we have the most comprehensive approach as possible. We have been paying, for example, we have a lot of nurses and medical providers. Those individuals don't necessarily have the option to work remotely. So we have been paying all positions that still have to report to a clinic an additional shift differential since March. That's something that we've been renewing on a monthly basis. And, thank goodness there's no representative from Amazon, because not to throw them under the bus, but they stopped paying that in June, and they're a huge company. So I think that says a lot about us as a company continuing to pay that out on a monthly basis. In addition, we've really limited the amount of individuals we can have in a clinic at one time. We've kind of redirected the role of our security guards to make sure that they're enforcing social distancing. So not only are they taking temperatures, making sure that individuals are wearing the masks, but they're also limiting the workflow, making sure that we're not having too many people in the clinic at one time. We physically removed a lot of the seating areas from our lobby and installed clear plastic barriers wherever possible. And I know that I've also posted some videos of what our clinics look like now on our company's LinkedIn page, just to let people know how seriously we are taking this. But of course, our response is always evolving. We're always staying on top of what the state and federal policies are recommending. So anytime we can do more, we're absolutely willing to do so.
Great. Alexis, talk to us about U-Haul.
Sure. So I would say that our rules around COVID are definitely always evolving as well. Now in March, all of the people that worked in the corporate office started to stagger. So now we come 2 days a week as opposed to 4 days a week that we were doing. And there's, at least in my office, there's no more than about 4 people in the whole office at one time. Now keep in mind, as I mentioned before, we are a needs-based company. So COVID happened, people were being displaced, people were having to move, relocate, whatever the case is, and we were in business. So we did have people in our stores at that time. We were following social distancing. Well, we still are. Our people in our stores are still wearing masks, still social distancing. Now, as far as these work from home positions, so like I said, we've been having work from home positions. We've had work from home positions since I started at U-Haul 2 years ago and before that. So this is not new to us. Thankfully, working from home does allow you to be safe, and that's the number one reason why people are looking for work from home jobs now, right? So that's the whole work from home aspect. But as far as our stores and our corporate office goes, we are definitely social distancing, definitely limiting the number of people that can work in office at any given time. And if you walk into any of our stores, everybody will be wearing masks.
I've got one more question, and then as a reminder to our attendees, please keep submitting your questions. And we have another question here for you, Katie. But one of the things that I would like to go over is if you could remind everybody how to apply for your open positions, and then just speak to what they can expect after they've applied. I know you guys already talked about how to follow up, but talk a little bit more about the process, the interview process, what they can expect from a timeline perspective. I talk to a lot of job seekers who sometimes they keep looking and they don't hear back for a while, so they give up. And I want you guys to set some proper expectations with our community partners and job seekers around application. So Katie, if you could start, and I'm actually going to hit you with one more question. Because one of our attendees has asked, do the employees get to visit the overseas headquarters in the future if they work for you?
It depends. It depends on what your position is. I know right now we have shift leads in Austria right now getting training in the Austrian plant. Our procurement manager's been there, quality specialist has been there, and they're there for like 2 months. So that's pretty fun, I guess, although it's snowing there now, so I don't think that would be fun. So it really depends on your position and what the needs are. Now, another thing that's really interesting that I didn't touch on is as far as advancement as a startup, we're starting with line 1 and we're going up to 5 lines. So there's a lot of room for promotional growth. And while right now a lot of our key positions are being filled by the Austrians just to get us off the ground, they're only going to be here from 1 to 2 years. So when they start leaving, those positions open up, and we want to be able to have people trained to fill in those positions. So that's important. As far as application process, again, right now our positions are on Indeed, and I linked that in the chat box. But what you can expect is I do review resumes every 1 to 2 days, and then I send those screen resumes to the hiring managers. They review them, and usually within 3 days, I get feedback back from them on who they want to interview. When that happens, I do send 2 separate messages, one through Indeed, through their platform, and then I also text the person that is being interviewed with a link to a system called Calendly, where you go in and you get to select your own date and time that works best for you for your interview based on what times we have available for interviewing. Once you have that, our interviews right now are virtual. So then I send out we do it through Microsoft Teams. So I'll send out the Microsoft Teams link to you so you're able to come into the interview. Our interviews are usually between 20 and 30 minutes. And since we are interviewing large swaths of people, it usually takes about 4 or 5 days to get feedback on whether you will be hired or not. And then I do communicate that with each candidate.
Got it. So I was doing some quick math there with all of the days, but if they apply, the application looks good, it really is going to be a 2 or 3 week process. Is that fair?
Yes.
Assuming that you can hit those milestones. Like if you get bombarded with applications, it might slow things down. So
right.
Doesn't mean you're not being looked at. It just might mean give a few extra days.
Right. But if you call me after 7 days, then after 7 days, it also lets me go, let me go look at that person if I haven't.
Okay. And while I got you here, Katie, another question just came in. Do you need experience to apply for the machine operator position?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
the
lots
only
of training.
Experience, there's lots of training. The only experience you need is being able to work in a team. So if you can show that's a huge plus.
Okay. Awesome. Megan.
Of course. So the best way to apply for our jobs is by going to our company website, which is communitymedicalservices.org. There is a drop-down that will take you directly to career opportunities, and then it will show the title of the job as well as the location. From there, you can apply directly, and there's even a button in case you are a user that likes to use Indeed, so you can quick apply. And it will automatically send me a notification that I did receive a new applicant. At this time, I am hiring for anywhere from 30 to 40 jobs. So it does take me anywhere from 1 to 4 business days to receive an application and have a chance to review it, just due to the volume that I am recruiting for. From there, I will reach out to candidates and let them know that I'm interested in setting up a phone screen. That is the first step in our process. Allows me to learn a little bit more about individuals' background, but also answer any questions that they may have for me regarding the position. From there, if we agree that it is a mutual fit, I will move forward with scheduling a video interview. Like Katie, we also do use Microsoft Teams. So I will be sending the candidate a link, making sure they know how to operate Microsoft Teams and letting them know that they can join in as a guest so they don't need to create another account. From there, the hiring managers take anywhere from 2 to 4 business days, assuming they don't go on vacation, to get back to me, and then I can let the candidate know. And then we'll be following up with feedback, letting them know, hey, we'll be able to target, the November 2nd start date, or unfortunately, we just did speak with someone that was a little more qualified. So on our end, it could take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks to bring someone on.
Okay. All right, Alexis, talk to us about U-Haul.
Well, thank you. The easiest way to apply for our positions is going to be on jobs.uhaul.com. Of course, I think I got the links down in the chat right now. So you can always head there. Now, right now, our big focus is on the contact center. Of course, we are busy and understaffed. So we are really trying to get through these applications as fast as we can. Normally, we would be able to look at your application within that week that you send it. Right now, I am going to say that we are bombarded. That is us right now. So I would say give us a few extra days. But when we do reach out, the very first step that we'll complete is that specifications requirement. So we're going to make sure that your computer is a Windows 10, has 8 gigabytes RAM, and at least 2,500 CPU benchmark. I can go ahead and put that all down in the chat as well. That is our main requirement before we can even move forward with the pre-screen. Now, once you send that over and everything looks good, then I'll go ahead and schedule a pre-screen call with you before we have you talk to any hiring managers, and we'll make sure that your availability matches what we're looking for, that we're on the same page as far as the expectations and day-to-day goals. And if everything looks good, then I'll schedule you with the hiring manager for the very next day if you're available. After that, it depends on you. Like I said, this is not a classroom style training. This is not group on Zoom. This is one-on-one with you and your trainer. So all that you and I will have to do after you get hired, but before you complete training, is onboarding, which is 3 steps. People can get it done in as fast as 1 day. Some people take 2 days. That will depend on you. But once we get through step 3, you're set to go. Your manager will reach out to you 1 or 2 days after that to get you going with training on that set schedule between the availability that we agreed on, and you'll be going from there. You actually will get your first timestamp for that last step of onboarding that we complete together. So it's pretty fast. I would say 1 or 2 days after you're actually offered, you'll start. Right now, it's that us getting through your application process that's taking us just a little bit longer, but that's what the whole process is like here.
All right. So it sounds like everybody's at least a couple of weeks, but if you haven't heard back from them, you've got email addresses and phone numbers, but give them 7 days. If you call them too early, you might not get to the top of the list, maybe even push down. So give them a little bit of time to get through it. Sounds like everybody is very busy. I want to thank all of our panelists here. I want to do one real quick thing for each of you. I would love any closing thoughts, anything that you wish we would have asked that you want to share about your company or about the jobs. And then we've got a special guest that just joined us here. Many of you probably know Bill, but he's got something exciting that he's going to announce in just a second. So Megan, anything that you'd like to add?
In terms of what I would like to add, it actually just would be a little bit of advice to the job seekers. I know on my end, and it sounds like for all of us, that we do receive a lot of applications and it takes us some time to get through them. The easiest resume to always open is just going to be a simple resume that's in Word format. A lot of times I come across a resume that's in PDF and it really won't let me readily open it, or maybe it gets scrambled. So I do prefer a Word resume. I do think that those always are consistent. They're easy to open and they look really professional. So I know that that would be my preference. And again, it just makes sure that your contact information is always legible. So I just wanted to add that as well, because I know sometimes I come across a resume and I'm like, oh, well, I can't open it. So I could call this person and I wish I always could. But sometimes when we're so busy, I don't always have the time to reach out.
Thanks for that. How about you, Alexis? Anything to add?
I think along the same lines, just be patient with us. It is super busy, especially right now with these work from home positions. We are definitely looking to hire, hopefully, like 500 people by the end of the year. So the opportunity is there for you, most definitely. I would say just be a little bit patient with us. Give us a call. And just keep that in mind when you're working with any recruiter. I would say, keep that in mind. We have a lot. We're probably working with 50 other candidates, right? So That's the number one thing. Just be a little patient with us, and we'll definitely get to your application. And when we do, we're very good about telling you why or why we're not moving forwards. We're very transparent here in order to help you in your next role. So that would be my best advice.
All right. Thank you. And Katie.
So while I do agree with Megan about the Word format versus PDF format, since right now I am reviewing all of the resumes through Indeed, because that's what we're using. For me, PDF uploaded through Indeed is better because it's one less step I have to do to see it. I don't have to download the Word and then open the Word and then, right? So it's just easier for that. Once we get everything onto our own website, the Word format will be a better way to submit that. And as far as positions, we're at 24 now. We're looking to have about 80 by the end of the year. And by the end of next year, we're looking at 165. So there's also a lot of opportunity there as well. Even if it's not with the first line, it could be with the second line, which is going to be up and running by February. So, and I would also just say with job seekers in general, just be persistent. Just because one person says no, don't let it get you down, right? Like Target didn't hire me once and I cried. So everything works out though, right? So it's just not the job for you if it doesn't happen.
Thank you for that. And again, thank you to all of our panelists. For all the attendees there, this recording will go on the NETPA website. It will go on the YouTube channel. We'll also include all of the information they shared that they want public, which would probably be just the job links. But make sure you get their email address and phone number out of the chat. So thank you again, 3 amazing employers here in the community, and they're all looking to hire and grow quite rapidly. So thank you again. Now what I'd like to do is turn it over to Bill for a second. Bill is actually going to announce an opportunity coming up towards the end of the month. And Bill, I have a short little slide for you, if that's okay.
Sure.
I screenshotted this out of your flyer, so it's not the whole thing.
That's okay.
But I'll turn it over to you.
So good morning, everybody. I'd just like to thank you for attending the NEPA meeting today. I actually have been involved in NEPA since 1992 when it was founded. So it's been a great organization for years. And with Ryan's leadership, I think it's really moving into a whole new era. So I've been in employment service doing some of the things that you all do too. I started as a recruiter and worked my way up to a regional manager in staffing. And then eventually I started working in the community, helping people living with disabilities and other challenges to get employment. I'm the chair of the Dream Job Fair, which is some of you I think may have participated. I'm pretty sure Community Medical Services and U-Haul in the past have participated. And we've been doing this fair since 2011. So we're coming up on our 9th year. And as you guys know, it's a whole different market right now with the COVID pandemic and so forth. So rather than having it in person over at Gateway Community College, where we've been hosted for all those years, now we're going to have to do it virtually, just to be safe and, different platform, different format. So what we're offering this year, we partnered with NETPA, with Ryan and his group. And we are trying to get 10 employers currently. We have 1, if not 2 already signed up. And what we're doing and what we're offering through that virtual format is the same thing you're doing today. It'll be a recorded session that will be hosted on the NETPA website on a specific page that's under the Dream Job Fair. And what we want to offer in the amenities to that is it could be up to a 10-minute recording. We would allow you to do your presentation that you normally do to present your company. And then in addition to that, we'd like to ask you maybe 3 to 5 different questions. So for the job seekers and so forth, to enlighten them and empower them, and also to really enhance your company efforts and make it easier for both parties when that person applies. In doing that, that video would be on the NEPA site for up to 90 days. And then in addition to that, what we'd like to do is put your actual company logo on the website. I'm so sorry. And what we'd like to do in regards to that is put a direct web link, or hyperlink is what they call it, so that when someone clicks on your logo, it would go directly to your career or your application page of your site. So that would be included in the package as well. And then what the cost for that would be is $75. And you'd be on the website, for NEPA's website, on a specific page for 90 days. So if that's something you're attracted to, we can get that out to you. I believe that Ryan is helping us promote that and sending flyers out, as well as myself. We actually have a domain that we're going to be directing directly to the NEPA website. So it's a landing page. And then in addition to that, if you'd like more information or you have questions for me, you can contact me at dreamjobfair@cox.net. And I can answer any of those questions or send you any of the information that you might need. We're having people register, and then we just go ahead and bill you for that service. And then we'd like to help you in that way. Does anybody have any questions that I can answer?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bill, this is Maggie. I have a question.
Okay.
Although right now we have a panel, when you do the one-on-one, I don't know if they understood that it'd be one-on-one, just them on that video recording, not multiple people.
Thank you, Maggie. You're exactly right. And I apologize for not making that dissemination. So yes, it would be a one-on-one recorded interview. We'll do that through Zoom. And then Ryan's going to help me with editing that so that we can make sure that it's a great video and great presentation for your company.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
All right. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to turn it over to Verily. She's got some announcements, and then we're going to wrap up.
Right, hello. Just remembered to unmute myself. Thank you very much, Bill. But we're very excited about the Dream Job Fair, and it's going to be really, really different because it's not going to be live per se. So we think it's very innovative, and we're looking forward to it, and we're very excited. So thanks, Bill. And thanks to our wonderful employers, Alexis, Megan, and Katie. Great information. Thank you so much. I learned a lot. And I love the idea of free Red Bull. Wow. How good's that? Although I don't know if I had too much of it, if I'd be fit for much. I think I'd probably have the jitters. But anyway, thank you again. So for those who don't know me, my name is Verily Keenan. I'm a business services representative with Arizona at Work, Maricopa County. And I'm also honored to be the Vice President of NETPA. So next slide, please. So as you can see, I'm going to share some resources with you. Arizona at Work is a statewide network of offices for job seekers. We offer many services, including career advice. And as well, we offer access to federal funds to help further your education and training and retrain for another career. Arizona Job Connection is our statewide resource for job seekers and employers. Job seekers can register and search for jobs, and employers can register and have employees contact them and get a job through the website. So it's sort of a matchmaking service, if you will, and it's completely free. So I encourage you to check that out. So we have obviously some wonderful community partners. Here's a few of them. Best Companies Arizona, wonderful resource for job seekers and employers. Career Connectors, for those that aren't familiar, they're a wonderful organization. They host video calls every other week. They have a keynote speaker, and as well, they have resources for job seekers, including LinkedIn help and resume assistance. So Goodwill, of course, offer wonderful resources. They offer training, and of course, they host lots of job fairs. Networking Phoenix is a wonderful organization, lots and lots of websites on there. I actually put in career, and guess what came up first? That would be NETPA. So I was really surprised and pleased to see NETPA came up first when you search for career advice. And finally, Pipeline Arizona. That's a great resource again for job seekers and employers. So again, all these are all wonderful resources, and I encourage you to check them out. So moving on, Arizona at Work Maricopa County has released these great online virtual workshops. As you can see, the first one is about your resume, how to create a really great resume, 30 minutes. And then looking for your dream job, again, help with interviewing skills. And then last but not least, we have a virtual employment academy. This is actually a 2-hour online workshop, and it covers job searching techniques, resume writing, interviewing, and how to earn your Arizona Career Readiness Credential, or ACRC, which is an employer-recognized credential showing competency in hard and soft skills. So as you can see, this is how you apply. You go to www.maricopa.gov/find-a-job. You can complete the inquiry form and select which trainings you're interested in. Thank you. So next slide, please. Oh, very excited about this. We're actually partnering with Pipeline Arizona for this. As you can see, we're having a West Valley Tech Talent Get Hired Virtually job fair starting October the 27th. So if you're interested, please go to Pipeline Arizona or pipelineaz.com and register. And we think that that'll be really great. We haven't yet got a list of the companies that are going to participate. We're still working on that. But when we have a list of companies who are going to participate, we'll be actually releasing that list, hopefully very soon. Thank you. So I'd encourage all job seekers and job developers, please ask your job seekers to sign up for our job blasts. They come out about twice a week. They have incredible information, job leads, information updated about unemployment insurance, all sorts of great information about and resources. So if you're interested, please sign up, as you can see, to Arizona at Work, and encourage your job seekers to do so. Thank you. Next slide. So I'll encourage everybody who hasn't already done so to join NEPTA. As you can see, we're very reasonable. Our yearly fees are only $25 for an individual and $75 for a company or organization. If you're interested, you can find lots of details on our website, or you can contact me, whichever you like. But again, I'd encourage you to join us. Okay, save the date. Friday, November the 20th at 10 o'clock. Our very own, drum roll, Ryan is going to be presenting. And he has an absolutely wonderful presentation. The first time I actually met Ryan was when he was giving this presentation. And it's absolutely amazing. So I really encourage you to sign up. As you can see, how to attract and hire rock star employees. So lots and lots of great information. And again, I'd really encourage you to sign up. I can attest to the fact it's wonderful and great information. So we hope you're going to sign up for that.
And one thing I'd like to add is this workshop will actually be great for job seekers as well, because we're going to talk about a lot of the things that employers are not looking for. So don't think just because we're talking about this from the employer perspective, it will not be relevant to job seekers.
Yeah, no, thank you, Ryan. Yes, again, I'm looking forward to it already. And November the 20th, Friday, 10 o'clock, and it'll be here before we know it. I don't know about you, but this year is going by so fast. I can't believe it. So yes, 20th of November. Finally, I would like to thank everybody again so much for coming today. Thank you to our wonderful companies. Thank you, Bill. Thank you to all our participants. So please, everybody, stay safe and have a great weekend. And thank you again.